Greetings, my people. Greetings, my people. Uh, how we doing today? Today is December 30th, 2021. We almost at the end of this year. We got a couple of more days left. I'm gonna fix that. Um, so as I was saying, I'm really looking forward to closing out this year. I'm really looking forward to closing out this year and going into the next year. So as we approach the end, that's what it is. But I titled this video, I'm gonna get into it. I titled this video Man Fans. And man fans are these dudes that it's like they're in love with the concept of another man. It's almost like it's like this strange attraction. And no matter what certain men do or males do, they can do no wrong. And a man fan is gonna always defend. It don't care what it is. It's always a man fan is always just going. Now you can respect a person. You can have a lot of respect for a brother. You can have admiration. But when you appoint to it's like you're just a fanatic, and this person is like just you can't fathom anything being wrong with this person. Man fans. And a lot of these man fans, they love another man. Excuse me. They love another man more than they love females. And number one man fan, I think a couple of man fans that come to mind. Number one would be Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp is the prime example of a man fan. Um, as I always say, and I repeat my messages, where a lot of us in the conscious community will say, "Oh, I don't watch TV. I don't watch. And I've already said that, the TV is the all-seeing and all-showing eye. So we must always be vigilant. We can't never just get so high in whatever, field we study that we just totally become like religious to where it's like, oh, that's worldly. I can't have that at all. I get pulling back because we have to scale it back and not be in it. But you still got to walk among it. You still have to kind of have a knowing of it, if that makes sense. But Shannon Sharp has to be first of all, any LeBron James fan is a man fan. His fans are delusional, but a lot of them are man fans because it's like as you watch this season, and I have respect for Kwame Brown, but some things I just don't always agree with him. And he gave a pretty good analysis. Obviously, he played the game of basketball, so he understands. And he talked about Ben Wallace being a Hall of Fame player when he was with the Detroit Pistons, which is all facts, because of the system. And to loop it back around to LeBron James, maybe when he was in Miami, maybe. This is my opinion. This is my opinion as if I'm an analyst and I'm saying certain things. Maybe, that was when he was in a real quote unquote system. I'm just watching this. Maybe that's when he was in a real system. And other than that, they were talking about him, the Lakers losing the game last night against Ja Morant and the Memphis Grizzlies. And it seems like that old Dusty Skip Bayless is the only one that can really talk objectively about LeBron James. Everybody else, Chris Broussard, Kendrick Perkins, definitely a little Peckerwood, white boy Nick Wright. Shaq, and a couple of others, but none as severe as Shannon Sharp. But all of these dudes, and there's probably a couple of others I'm missing that I'm not thinking of off the top of my dome. But all of these dudes just happen to have this thing to where what I never liked about it was that when all of the winning come, it's because of him. When all of the winning come, it's because of him, right? Anything with losing, it's he don't have the help. His teammates not supporting him. Now we're not looking at this that this is a reoccurring thing up until he goes to Miami. Even when he's in Miami, and they got ran out of Miami by San Antonio. See, the thing that we only want to talk about his numbers, his winning in championships. But how many championships have he lost? See, you're not, and I'm glad I never went into sports broadcasting because I would not have been the type of analyst that they would have put and propped up. Because I say what's truthful and not what's popular. So, and I'm gonna walk you through a couple. They'll say, "Oh, just get him." Shannon Sharp was good with this. Oh, just get him anybody. Get him right in the hood. Get Bron right in the hood, and he can just make something happen. Okay. They go back and look at this. They go back this is when he was with Cleveland. It's the last time. Okay, before that, he tried to get Derrick Rose. And Derrick Rose still playing now, mind you, what I'm about to say. He went and got Derrick Rose. He went and got Dwayne Wade. And I'm going back to Miami, but I just want to make a point with this. He tried that same formula that the Lakers allowed him to come in and try. And where he's not taking the blame, where he's not taking the real, and nobody gives him any blame because they asked Chris Broussard maybe about a day or two ago, how much blame does LeBron have in the building of this Laker roster? And he says 0. So we know that Carmelo is a close friend of LeBron, which means he had to give his approval, right? Okay, we know that they said several times that he chose Russell Westbrook, who they make to blame everything. And I didn't feel confident. And I was like, it's not going to work. They shouldn't even brought Russell, or they should trade him before, because I knew that, and I'm going back to that system. I know I'm all kind of over the place, but in that, he brought him there. So he has a lot of say. Any player that has reached superstar status the way he has, always, from Jordan to whoever, they always had influence over who comes. But the difference with this guy is, and this is, again, my opinion, he runs the front office no matter wherever he go. They say, well, he never. So back to the system. What is the system that the Lakers run? Everybody want to just keep saying Russell Westbrook. Okay. We got it. I watch it. Russell Westbrook makes a lot of turnovers. People haven't won with him. We'll give it that, okay. But when are they ever gonna say Frank Vogel? Charles Barkley got upset talking about Frank Vogel. Because, see, that's how these man fans are. Also, these man fans, when you talk about white boys or something, they feel a certain way. But how come nobody's calling out Frank Vogel? Okay, we know right now he's been in the COVID protocol, blah, 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 blah. But even when he wasn't coaching that team good. He had money. What is every championship team has an identity? You know what you're up against. when you come in and play Golden State. You know their identity. You know their closer. This is what they say. Listen to what they say closely. A LeBron James team. So when it's a LeBron James team, that's the system. Everything runs through LeBron. Just get Bron the ball. And they keep forcing these narratives because it's like if you tell a lie so long, it becomes true. So they say he makes everybody around him better. Everybody around him better. Now it's the old guys, they just not right. So when they had Montrezl Harrell, who is a high energy, who is the Lakers? I think Candace Parker called this out. Who are the Lakers' high energy players? Who's the enforcer on the Lakers? Who's the guy that's gonna dive out of bounds for loose balls and really give that effort? Who gets these? Because one of the things that made the Chicago Bulls great was Dennis Rodman, that 96, where Dennis Rodman was a rebounding machine. And we know second chances on the offensive board is exactly that, a second chance at offense. So who are these people that will fulfill these roles and obligations on the Lakers team? Kwame said they all right. I don't know what team he's looking at. He said they're okay. They're gonna have to run a system like in Miami. I don't know if they're capable of doing that, bro. And I almost feel sometimes that people are really, really, really scared to say anything about LeBron. That go for you too, bro. Now, I don't know. I don't watch your videos like that. So I'm going to say, I'm not going to make a statement or something I don't know. So again, like I always say, if there's something out there that I don't know, educate people, educate me. But when I see people, it's like everybody's scared to say, you the problem, bro. Yes, he's great. He's shooting the ball at a good percentage. But his team is failing. Now, what I did agree with Kwame was that he needs to flip that energy on the defensive side. But you brought this team together to you know Carmelo was aged. This is what I'm saying with not taking accountability. It's just, you know, when people said they were old, he cried. Nobody wants to realize that this dude is a crybaby. Don't talk about my team. Keep that same energy. Now look, where's your same energy? These players are too tender. These players are too tender. He's too tender as a player. We look at and I agree so much when they say that when Kwame said the individuality is destroying the game. They had him playing centered. This is a positionless basketball game. Big men are monsters. Imagine Patrick Ewing standing out on the wing to shoot a three. Or pulling up to hit a 16-foot jump shot. The Lakers don't have a real coach. The reason LeBron, in my opinion, the reason LeBron has never played with a real coach because he don't want one. He don't want a real coach. And I didn't think Erik Spoelstra was that good, but Erik Spoelstra have stayed in the league. I guess that's the realest of a coach he's ever had, really. I feel like the Golden State Warriors don't really need a coach with that system that Mark Jackson helped to develop and that chemistry that Mark Jackson developed. But Kobe played with Phil Jackson. Shaq played with Phil Jackson. That Detroit Pistons team had Larry Brown, who was a hard-nosed coach. A coach that wasn't going to be with all of this. Why has LeBron never went and played for San Antonio? Because he always loved to get coaches up out of there. He need the right type of coach that's going to just sit there and do whatever he say and be along for the ride. Yeah, you'll see him calling some plays, doing this. But for the most, he has never really allowed himself to be coached. And man fans always make up an excuse. It's just like he never can do nothing wrong. Skip Bayless says he never been a closer. Shannon get mad. Watch the man fan energy. They get mad when you talk about him. Newsflash, he don't do everything. And again, in my opinion, that's why he went to Miami. He scored and dominated games, but he never closed them out. Kobe closed. The Celtics team had teams. Paul Pierce understood how to close the game out. You get what I'm saying? Jordan knew how to close the game out. Certain fundamentals, but we get so caught up in numbers and how many free throws, or he's the all-time this, all-time, all these isolated numbers, when we're not looking at the overall, which is the winning. But he's the chosen one, right? So we understand the politics of the game. But man fans also are these ones, these Kevin Samuels fans. These cats on this podcast, the Manosphere. That just sound gay there. To where you have a bunch of dudes that sit around and just praise another man all day. Polite. R. Kelly, all these man fans. I don't care what he did. Do we understand when we say we don't care what a man did when it's involving children? Do we understand that? And then we so weak, and y'all so weak. One of my village fans tell me, say, no, not us. Y'all so weak. So y'all say, oh, well, where the parents was. That's like that weak Hassan Campbell trying to blame FBG Duck's mom. So we play that role and say, well, where was moms of these white boys that shoot up these schools? Where the parents was? Where was Kyle Rittenhouse parents? Where was Dylan Ruth's parents? Where were the ones that the Pope raped? All them little boys that the Pope molest. That's cowardness. Where males deflect. We are defense. And we deflect and say, well, I don't care what he did. His music. Females are so ignorant. When I'm watching posts, and I just unfollow people. I don't argue with them. I just unfollow. If I follow you and you're making these, and I saw one female that made a post so ignorant, I just unfollowed her. They were like, the memes that's on Facebook, and they're like, them Are you gonna still listen to R. Kelly? Me. And then they sing a line from his song, and her caption says, "Hell, he didn't touch me." The joke that we think this is. Where the parents was. Where was the Aaliyah parents? He takes this girl and marries her. And y'all weak males say where the parents were. Where were the men in the community that's the gatekeepers? That's making sure these perverts don't come into the neighborhood since we got our neighborhoods on lock. Since there's a no-fly zone, since certain areas you'll get killed just riding through too slow. Why are we not doing this for pedophiles? Man fans would rather blame the female because that's the coward. That's what we've been reduced to blame them because we don't want to do nothing. It's easier to blame them. You know, we were going over the 9 areas of people activity, and I actually added one, and I'm gonna show you a little bit. And of course, if we read the ISIS papers or anything by Neely Fuller, we understand the 9 areas of people activity: education, economics, entertainment, politics, law, labor, religion, sex, and war. All right, so as they say, these are the 9 areas of people activity in which racism, white terrorism, or white supremacy dominate the world. All right. So, as I said yesterday, and you'll see in my thing, excuse me, and you'll see I have a note under the bottom that says, we began, they began telling the black woman that sex sells, and then blame herself when she sells herself for sex. You get what I'm saying? This mantra that has been told to females on anything, what they say in players clubs, you got to use what you got to get what you want. This stuff being pumped, we always want to sit up here and talk about this. See, I knew thought I was just going to talk about sports. No. That's cool. We can do that. But when we do come about and we talk about, like, that's why I kind of be dismissive when we talk about stuff like feminism and stuff like, because we got to know how these constructs and how these things came about, why they came about. And the white boy tricked us and conditioned our people to think that the black man was subjugating his woman originally, and we've never been the type to subjugate our women. Our highest order is Mayat, which is a divine feminine energy. See, we don't know how to think sometimes. So that's why it's funny to me when we have pro-black, conscious African people, dudes that still have this kind of misogynistic energy. I get it. My heart has been torn up by females. I was with a female for 6.5 years that I loved. I loved her children as if they were my own. And the things she effortlessly did to me, because I didn't matter, because I wasn't what she desired. But I didn't go on creating no posts and areas of just being a bitter black man. Who loves the black man? I mean, and it's not that we make fun of it, because honestly, who loves us? But when it comes like this whiny, again, man fan moist energy, black women are not ready for that. We got to take our rightful place. You know, Nana Amos Wilson, when he talks about in chapter 5, I want to say, of his blueprint for Black Power, and he talks about this concept, or he cross references to sociologists. And they talk about this concept called ethnocentrism. And ethnocentrism is basically like your worldview. I'll say from interpretation, your worldview. And in this, they talk about that the ethnocentric way or way of thinking is a yardstick, a measuring stick of how we see ourselves culturally versus others. Every culture thrives and has an ethnocentric view. And then he also talks about the self concept. And I'm going somewhere with this. He talks about the self concept, and that is how they also control us through our self concept, through how we look at ourselves. That's why I talk about this book, Tavistock Institute by John Coleman. Because we must understand how we get ourselves, how do we get the concepts of ourselves? So you dominate and you can control a person by the way you shape them to think of themselves. So we've been reduced to whiny men. Look at what young black males see. They either see us homosexualized, gangbanger, whatever that is, rappers or entertainers in that area of activity, entertainers, sellout politicians, or black conservatives, Candace Owens. What's the young one? C.J. Pearson. So they never show you a strong African man, a strong man that really, and he doesn't feel weak for standing up for women issues because he knows the balance of himself. So he knows if my women ain't protected, they not happy. If my women ain't protected, we off balance. If the men are not in their right place and not strong in thinking, we off balance. Make sense what I'm saying? We off balance. And that's what happened. We are out of order as men. We have males that think it's cool to just move with a woman. And think you're doing something fly. We the providers. They're homemakers. So you got more, back to sports. I'm gonna do that. You got more men that will have respect for LeBron James, will go to war with you. Whatever he do, he didn't do it. But you'll have a black males, polite, R. Kelly, Africa Bambaataa, and we silent to it. Well, we don't know what they did. Then we start sounding like the police when they kill us. Well, can we see all of the evidence before we jump? We think just like a high oppressor sometimes because they play ping pong with your brain. So in this mental dichotomy, they can make you, they shift your thought. I don't care how conscious you're supposed to be. They shift your thought and make you think something that you ain't got no business saying out your mouth. It's okay to sit back and reserve because we do know some females lie and say men rape them when they didn't. But that's when you have what you call discernment. That's when we organize as black men to where we can say, hey, what's happening? We pull up on a situation. What's happening? Not sit back like cowards and blame women and make podcasts talking about how women won't do this. We got to return to our natural selves. And they will follow. I ain't gonna say submit. Some females, some sisters that I know closely and dearly got on me about that. But they will cooperate. I promise they will. But we gotta take strength and leadership, brothers. We gotta know who we are. We can't be running around talking about we this 1 minute. We gotta be clear about who we are. If you're a Hebrew, be a Hebrew, but be a Hebrew over there. I'm African. One of my brothers said something so real last night. He says, the only confusion on the battlefield comes from the conscious people. Everybody else just lost. And that's so factual. The people that's supposed to know the most are the most confused. We Geechee, we indigenous, we this, we're not Africans. We Africans, but we making a case to be homosexual Africans. No, we ain't. We Muslims, we Asiatics. No, we ain't. We're Moors. Don't you know your nationalities? Ain't none of y'all right. We foundational Black Americans. Tyreek told us so. He got a whole white mother-in-law that's in his house, got colonizer walking through his house. No, we ain't. Yvette Carnell said we whatever they are. What are they? ADOS. You got an identity crisis. You need sound thinking Black men. You need sound thinking Black men. You need sensitive but non-emotional when it comes to real issues. I'm not talking about being non-emotional when it comes to your female, but when it comes to real life decision, altering decisions, being non-emotional. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. You know, and I didn't want to attack somebody's name because I don't really know how I hear them say jump into the algorithms or whatever. I don't know how to get my content out there, but I think if people heard it, my content would be pretty dope. But we start with us, fellas. We help our women. We create spaces for them to be nurturing. This is what I didn't know, 2 years ago. Because I constantly grow. I don't think I know everything. I can sit with my little brothers and just learn among them. I can sit with my elders and just learn among them. I can sit with a group of women and learn among them, children, and learn among them. Not feeling like we too superior to be in stuff. Umar Johnson is the biggest joke, and this is why I have an issue with this guy, because he makes the Pan-African, African conscious community look goofy, silly, weak. And we don't do nothing. We just let them walk through, claiming out, hollering out ancestors' name, taking donations in our ancestors' name. Man fan won't even let you say nothing to him, say nothing about it. Man fan get mad if you talk about Malachi York. Man fan get mad if we talk about Ron Karenga. I mean people in general, but I'm talking about brothers. I'm talking about males right now. Because we're so emotional, we can't even sit back and look at what Elijah Muhammad actually was doing. Because the dogmatic religion comes out, the train talk. The train talk that they've been saying, Elijah Muhammad told them to leave Malcolm alone. This is what Jeffrey the Draft, Rizal Islam, jumps out here and says. And there's clearly audio of Farrakhan bragging about them killing Malcolm. No, not Malcolm. And we allow disrespect. Because, like I said earlier in the video, that truth being repeated long enough that Malcolm shouldn't have spoken in front of the white man and all of this. When you that, you learn as you go. Some things I said a year ago when I got into certain situations, it changed me, it humbled me. He never became an integrationist. Well, people were trying to kill him. He didn't snitch. He was a man all the way to the end. And us, as Pan-Africans, African nationalists, Garveyites, we let people insult them. But we'll protect a basketball player. Our chef is in the wrong place, my people. We want our children to be $40 million slaves. Auction them off. Here, look how fast my boy can run. And when they done with your boy, they treat him like Lenny Cook. Lenny Cook. And people, because I'm from the South, people can't hardly hear what I say sometimes. They treat him like a Maurice Claret. They treat him like an Isaiah Thomas. Not Zeke, but the Isaiah that's just trying to get back in the league. When they need your boys, that's why there are things I respect in everybody. I can't respect much. I can't respect probably about one thing of Louis Farrakhan, but I try to find things I can even respect in my enemy. But just how they target our black boys. You know what I'm saying? It's our jobs, fellas, to turn our children into thinkers, our boys into thinkers. Not niggers, players, homosexuals, Dwayne Wade. Thinkers, creators. We pour into their imagination. Yeah. But I just wanted to vlog today. Again, I look forward to the New Year's. I kind of want to keep going, but I don't want to overtalk. So I appreciate it, and I leave you how I greeted you in a BB for Hodier, African Liberation for African People.